Hey gang, my name is Rick Perez and you're watching Let's Level Up. Today we're going to have another cool, exciting Kickstarter preview for you in Unmasked Dracula's Feast. This also may be referred to as Masquerade Dracula's Feast, depending on where you're looking. I think Board Game Geek still has it as Masquerade Dracula's Feast. So this game is actually a really neat social deduction game designed by Peter Hayward and published by Jelly Bean Games. It plays 4 to 8 players in about 15 minutes. It's designed for ages 10 and up, but there's nothing really in the theme that I see a problem with younger kids trying to get into. There are some complications, I think, anytime you get a younger audience with social deduction. But play at your own risk there. I like this game. I think this game provides a very unique mechanic in that we're really trying to deduce who is at this party, right? So the idea of the theme is that Dracula's invited us all out for this dinner, and thinking that he's going to get all the villagers in there and make a quick bite, so to speak. The only problem is that the other monsters, like the werewolves and mummies and the zombies, have intercepted this message, also thinking that a bunch of humans are going to be there and decided to crash the party. Now, since this is a masquerade party, we'll be all given a hidden role card, and it's up to us to basically deduce who the other people at the party are. Now, we want to either be the last player standing or successfully perform the grand reveal in it, where we reveal ourselves and try to guess successfully who all the other people are, plus the mystery guest. So we're going to follow this game right to the table here. I'm going to show you very quickly how to play it. There's some really, really good playthrough videos on this already, or rather not really playthrough, but how to play videos and instructionals online already. You can look at them on the BGG video page. I really like those and gave me a good idea of how the game is to be played. And then after that, we'll be right back here with our final thoughts. Alright, as always, guys, when we're taking a look at a Kickstarter project, keep in mind that the materials that I'm looking at are a prototype copy. The artwork can probably change, the components may change before things are finally said and done here. And of course, the better the Kickstarters generally do, the fancier components that we're going to see out of this. So always keep that in mind. This is not a finished product, and I hope that doesn't weigh too heavily on your opinion of the game, because I really like what I see here in Dracula's Feast. So one of the big things in Dracula's Feast I really like is the simple action choice that I'm given on my turn. There are 4 different things that I can do on my turn. The first of which is to question another player. Now that's where these tokens here come in. So if I'm sitting right here, I am Dracula, and I may think that this opponent here happens to be the werewolf, let's say. I ask him, "Are you the werewolf?" And then they secretly hand me one of their answer cards. It has to be the truth, and letting me know yes or no that they are in fact the werewolf. I give that back to that player, and then I am the only person who holds that information from this point forward. I think that is a huge thing when it comes to deduction, and something that's pretty unique, and typically it's all going to be kind of public information whenever that is given out. The other ability is for me to ask another player to dance. So if I ask another player to dance and they accept, then we get to show each other our role cards. And now from that point forward, I can no longer accuse that player, but I will know that they are in fact the werewolf or the zombie or even Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde or whatever their role may be. The third action is to accuse somebody, and that's where I grab one of the accusation tokens and I say, "I think that you are Dracula." And if I am right, then they flip over their role and they are banished from the game. If I am wrong, I lose the game and I'm banished. We don't want to do that. So you really want to accuse somebody once you know exactly who they are, or have a really, really good idea of who they might be. The last action that we're going to be able to have is called the grand reveal, and that allows us to attempt to successfully guess everybody's role, including the mystery guest. There'll be one additional role given out at the beginning of the game. They'll be kind of placed in the center of the game board, or rather the center of the table, and that will be the mystery guest. So that we'll have to try to figure out that identity in addition to all of the other players. Well, that's a really interesting component for me as well. But the grand reveal, we can steal victory if we know everybody's identity. On top of that, each role has its own set of win conditions. And let me just zoom here really quick and show you guys this. All right, so taking a look at the different role cards here. Here we have Dracula. Dracula's special text says he gets to take one more turn after being banished, so he's not quite out of the game at the end of the game. Then we have Alucard, which of course is just Dracula backwards. Alucard must accept all dancers and answer yes to the question of answer yes when being asked if he is Dracula. Win by giving Dracula's accusation card, so he has a special win condition. The werewolf special ability here is to win by correctly accusing two guests. And then when that happens, you just win the game. Van Helsing here, win by correctly accusing Dracula or dancing with him. So Van Helsing is another very powerful character. If we happen to dance with Dracula, we can win. So if Dracula's on the board and we know Van Helsing's at the party, we want to be very careful about who we decide to dance with. The Trickster here, the Trickster's interesting, accepts all dances and answers yes to all questions. So they don't have to tell the truth here. They are forced to answer yes. The Magic Mirror is interesting. Magic Mirror gets to look at the mystery guest before attempting to a grand reveal. So they'll get to basically immediately know who the mystery guest is going to be. The zombie wins by dancing 3 times. I actually really like the artwork there. It's really fun. We have the Boogie Monster. Accepts all dances and may immediately attempt a grand reveal after 2 guests are banished, which is another very powerful ability. And finally, we have Dr. Jekyll. Dr. Jekyll's special ability says you cannot question. Play as the mystery guest after being banished. So again, Dr. Jekyll is kind of more of a handicap than I see some of the other players being, but that's still pretty interesting at the end of the day. So yeah, that's basically it. We're going to be playing this game until players have either the last person not banished in the game, have met their win condition, or have successfully completed the grand reveal. This game is designed to play in very quick succession, so we'll go through there and play multiple games. There's not any cards or anything like that to worry about handing out. There are a few components in this game, which makes it very portable, and I like that as well. There are easy rule reference sheets here that let you know all the different players' abilities and a quick summation of the actions you can take on your turn. Again, basically on your turn, you pick one action to do and play passes to the left until you're either the last person standing or the grand reveal has happened or a player has met their bonus objective here. So that is it. Follow me back down to the game room and we'll give you my final thoughts. And that is it for Unmasked Dracula's Feast. Now, I really, really like the subtlety in this game and the fact that it really stands out in one of the primary actions, and that's question. And what I mean by that is that generally in a social deduction game, the information that we gather is going to be public knowledge, and we're going to have to really play the table to try to decipher all of the information that's going on at once, and then you really try to pick up and hone in on what's really important. Now, with Dracula's Feast, if I ask you a question like, for instance, the player opposite of me, are you the zombie? And they slide me back the no card, I am the only person that knows that they are not the zombie. Unless, of course, the player over here happens to be a zombie, then they would know as well. But that information is mine and mine alone to keep, and that is very important when it comes down to things. The more questions that we ask, the more information that's flowing around the table, the better I'm going to be suited to do a grand reveal. Now, we're going to also try to keep ourselves as protected as possible, following our different rule cards and following the different rules there. But all in all, Dracula's Feast is a pretty unique experience. I think that is very, very important when it comes to me backing a Kickstarter. Also, especially one in social deduction, like I said before, it's a very crowded genre right now, and it takes a lot for a game to really stand out on its own. So I think Dracula's Feast is one you should definitely look into backing once the Kickstarter goes live. We'll have information in that in the description of our video and available on letslevelup.net when that is all said and done. Until then, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you appreciate it. I wish everybody here involved in Dracula's Feast best of luck on the campaign. And until next time, thank you again, and game on. Hey gang, hope you liked the video. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know what games you'd like to see us play next, or even feature here on this Kickstarter preview. Any of the things you'd like to see me review as well, we're going to get back into that groove as well. So at the end, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. If you are a long-time subscriber, welcome back. I always appreciate you. Hit me up on Twitter if you guys have any questions about the game. I'll do my best to answer those as possible. Again, that's @LetsLevelUp on Twitter. Thank you again. We appreciate you. Good night.